Welcome back, everyone, to the Creator Spotlight here on Fightful Overbooked. I am Jeremy Lambert, joined today by one of the top names in independent wrestling. He is competing this Saturday for the JCW GCW J Cup. He's facing Joey Janela in the first round of the tournament. He's Starboy Charlie. Starboy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jeremy. Just got off of school, feeling good. Gonna go hit the gym after this, get a little training in, getting ready for that J Cup.
I want to ask you about Joey Janela. I actually just spoke with him too, as well. He said he was going to mess up your face. He said he was gonna, put a beating on you. And last time you guys wrestled, I think you were just coming off the injury. You're just getting back from that injury. Now you've been back in the ring for a while, looking good out there. What do you have to say to your opponent on Saturday, Joey Janela?
Joey says he wants to mess up my face. I think he's a little bit jealous. I've been called a pretty boy, and people get jealous, I guess, like Joey Janela. He said he faced me when I was getting off my injury, and I got a couple more matches under my belt since then, and I'm ready to go. I'm a whole another animal than I was before.
Joey
I don't
already.
even wear gear anymore. I wear overalls.
Well, okay, so tell me about this because I saw you were wearing overalls. What went into this decision here?
I just I wear overalls in real life, just like not the short ones like I wear in the ring, but I just be wearing overalls. It's just kind of my style, I guess, and I wanted to incorporate a little bit more of, my personality, more of who I am outside of the ring into what I'm doing in the ring.
It's a great choice. You don't see, I mean, John Cena famously wrestling in jorts, but you don't really see anybody in the overalls. So it's a great way to stand out.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a lot of great wrestlers who haven't worn traditional wrestling gear. Jeff Hardy, he always wore those big kind of gothic cargo pants. I think those are pretty cool too.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I like it. You've teamed with Joey Janela, I mean, fairly recently, back in September, and now you're facing him. I'll give you an insight. I don't know if you've seen him. Give you a scoop. His eye, he's kind of sporting a black eye. I think from AIW this past week, so it might be a little bit of target for you. Just knock him one right there, and mess up his vision a little bit, and then he'll have trouble messing up your face.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a black eye on one side. I'm not afraid to even it up on the other.
There you go. There you go. Tell me about the injury and then the rehab and coming back from the injury and how you felt through that entire process, and then once you finally got back in the ring.
Man, I like my whole injury and everything that went on. Like, I feel like everything was timed perfectly to cause as much damage as it could. I mean, like, I got my injury when I was doing a lot of great things, having a lot of good matches. I was getting more out there. People were starting to see who I was, and then, just like that, it all kind of disintegrated in front of me. And I mean, it's in the past. I gotta look past it. I did a bunch of rehab on my leg, and it was tough, but things got easier, things got moving, and now I'm in a lot better place mentally and physically.
What that first match back, I believe it was a scramble match. Was that easier on you with the five other guys in there, or a little bit difficult because it's a scramble match and everybody just kind of goes insane in those matches?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good way to get back into things, having it be my first match, being in there with a bunch of guys, a bunch of great wrestlers. It was really kind of throwing me in there, right off the bat. A lot of fast paced movements, fast paced energy going on. And I think it was kind of like throwing me into the deep end. Um, I guess it's like a thing that people do when they're teaching people how to swim, teaching their kids to just throw them in like the deep end. I guess it's kind of like what it was for me. But I'm not much of a swimmer, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. But it definitely was a great match to get back into things. So.
The tournament format. You're no stranger to tournament formats. You just competed in the West Coast Cup Pro or West Coast Cup last year. Went to the finals against Titus Alexander. Now the J Cup, big tournament. Again, another tournament where you could wrestle 4 times on the night. How do you feel about tournaments and potentially wrestling as many times as you could wrestle in one night?
Tournaments are pretty tough, you know. You get a lot of you don't got a lot of time in between your matches usually, and you know it takes a toll on your body every match. You know, you're getting more exhausted in there, but I do have some experience, you know, in like high school wrestling. I did a lot of tournaments then, and I wasn't too bad at that. And then I've done some tournaments in my early career for pro wrestling, like some Young Lions Cup tournaments. But I think having that West Coast Pro, having that West Coast Cup tournament last year, I think that's going to help me a lot going into this tournament because you know I already made it to the finals of that one. You know, I think I'll be able to do a lot of great things in this match or in this tournament too.
I mean, this is one of, if not the biggest. I think Bola is probably the only thing that is comparable to it. But like, you look at the names that are competing in this tournament with Speedball, Gresham, Janela. Like, is there a name that stands out to you of like, oh, Joey Janela is obviously one of the big names, but I want to face this guy, and just the overall prestige of this tournament and being part of it. Like, to be asked to be part of this tournament, what does that mean to you?
Just being part of this tournament, having my name mentioned with a lot of the best wrestlers on the indies and best wrestlers in the world, to be honest, it's you know, it gives me a confident boost, you know, that I could be seen as being on their level to some extent, you know. And I don't know, it just makes me really happy, you know. I'm seeing things moving a little bit faster with my career, and you know, for one specific person, you know, I don't really have a specific person in mind going in this tournament. If I could, I'd wrestle everyone in this tournament. You know, they got young talent. You know, Billy Starks, Marcus Mathers. You know, and they got people seen as the best in the world with Mike Bailey and John Gresham and Janela. I'm just here to make my mark. You know.
How has it been for you with the balance of school and wrestling? Because you said you were blowing up before the injury, and I think you've come back and you've looked just as good, if not better, and your name is still like huge on the independent scene. And then you have to go to college, or last year, the year before, had to go to high school. Like, how is that balance of, all right, I'm getting kind of a buzz in this wrestling thing, but then now I have to do some schoolwork?
The balance isn't too tough. You know, I mean, wrestling, like, I'm not gonna lie, that's my priority over school, to be honest. Like, I already graduated high school, I'm in college now. This stuff's just kind of for fun, you know. I'm not looking to be like a scientist or nothing. Like, the science I do is in the ring, you know. But it's not too tough so far. I took a gap year, I guess, and now I'm in college. I got only a few classes, so you know I'm not too serious about it right now, but we'll see where
Do you
things
plan?
go.
Do you plan on getting like a degree and finishing it out, or are you just kind of just taking courses until wrestling picks up even more?
I was just taking some courses. I wanted to do graphic design. I wanted to take a class on that in college, but like they kind of screwed me over and made it so like since I was new this semester, I couldn't pick my classes at the same time as everyone else. So it's the San Francisco State screw job, you know. But I guess next semester I could try to get into the graphic design. You know, I just want to be able to design my own merch and stuff. I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
There you go. I mean, that's a good thing to put that to use, whether it be merch, graphics. And if you expand that to videos, that's I think something a lot of wrestlers should kind of get into and dabble in, because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt to have other skills in your repertoire.
Right. Your match against Matt Cardona. So this is your Twitter banner header here, where you defeated Cardona. He has the shocked face. You are the face of jubilation. What was that match like for you?
That match was really awesome. You know, I watched a lot of WWE growing up, and one of the main guys on there, Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, when I was watching it, and it was pretty surreal to me that I was wrestling someone that I grew up watching on TV. You know, I was always doing the woo woo shit. Watching it. It was just really awesome. And
I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it's my connection or his connection. Apologies, folks. Mine seems fine. We'll see if we can.
I think we're back.
Oh, there we go. Okay. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. So
Okay.
I guess overall it was pretty surreal to me that I was wrestling Matt Cardona.
Did he say anything to you? I know sometimes he'll like to be a jerk to people, but did he say anything positive to you, or was he still a jerk?
He did, like, he said something positive to me. After my match, it was along the lines of, good job, keep going at it in this business. You'll get far. But it's always overtoned by some cockiness and just that Matt Cardona attitude.
He still said something nice though. I feel like that's a rare thing for him. He can't stand
Yeah,
anybody on the independent scene.
that's the real win for me.
Yeah, I was say definitely take that victory. Take that victory right there. GCW, the collective coming up, WrestleMania weekend. Anything you got your eye on, whether it be an event or a potential match that you have in mind?
I definitely want to get on that GCW DDT show. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of eyes on that one, and I guess the people at DDT, hopefully they'll see me whether I'm on that show or I'm not, and future opportunities hopefully will come to me from DDT.
Is Japan a goal for you?
Definitely. One of the only classes I'm taking right now in college is Japanese. I'm not doing too good at it right now, but I could count to like 6.
I mean that might help a little bit in if you head to Japan, if you just point numbers and just try with the numbers out there. No idea where I was going with that, but
Yeah,
it's
be
better
like,
than
oh,
nothing, you
I
know?
have menu item number Roku.
Yes.
Uh,
There you go. There you go. It just if it's location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe you just pinpoint a location for you. Everyone from what I've been told, everyone's very friendly and helpful in Japan. So even if you are visiting, it's not you won't be completely lost because there are so many people who are helpful out there.
yeah, I mean, I just started the semester, so I hope I learn more than just how to count to 6. So
It'll be a goal to just keep taking the Japanese class. I took Spanish for like 4 years. Can't say anything. Didn't remember a single
man,
word after I finished it.
as I was in high school for me, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, can't remember anything from there. But
Yeah.
I mean, Los Mestizos, they talk to me in Spanish sometimes in the locker room, and I'm trying to pick up on that a little bit. So I thank them for trying to teach me something about it.
Have you talked to anybody else about like their experiences in Japan? So maybe you can kind of figure out what to potentially expect.
I mean, all I really picked up from other wrestlers is, they're really nice, really respectful in Japan, and they got a lot of good food over there. So I
You,
guess
you
there's that.
gotta you gotta get the jacket at Ribera. That's the custom thing to do over there. What got you into wrestling, Starboy? Like what was that moment of like, all right, this is kind of what I'm passionate about.
I was one of those kids at the WWE events wearing all green John Cena, freaking got the headband, got the hat on top of it, it was a weird combo, but the headband, the wristbands, the shirt, I was just all John Cena swagged out at that point. and it just kind of went on from there. I was really into wrestling to the point where I was, breaking the couches in my house, trying to do Jeff Hardy moves and all that. So my parents, they signed me up at it was this place called the Gold Mine. So they took me in when I was like 10 years old. Not sure how legal that is, but that's kind of where my wrestling journey kind of took off right there.
Did you get in trouble for breaking these couches?
Yeah, yeah, I get yelled at about it. They throw out the couch, get a new one, and it happened all again. And it's, I think it was. I think they put me in wrestling just so they wouldn't have to buy couches.
The first thing you got to do when you're making television money and everything, you got to get your parents like a new stable couch of like, I
Oh,
apologize for all of
definitely.
these that I broke.
I'm getting them the nicest couch with the recliner seats, and
There you go.
got the cup holders and all that. I'll go all out on that couch.
Anything else in your house that was broken, or just couches?
It was just couches. I mean, my dog had a little mattress for a little bit. When the couches weren't there, I would just hop on that little dog mattress. It's where I learned everything I know.
Has there been a moment for you? You're still very young. You still have a very long career ahead of you. Has there been a moment for you or an opponent where you're in the ring and something just like clicked and it's like, oh, this is my shit right here. Like I belong here and I'm good at this.
Yeah, I think it was my first GCW match, singles match. It was against Blake Christian. It was my first time wrestling like outside of California, and it was just so crazy to me. It was after the pandemic, like kind of messed up wrestling and all that. The original collective for 2020 was like they had to cancel it, and then it was in Indianapolis, and it was in that match with me and Blake Christian. I had a lot of time to think and come up with a bunch of new stuff, and I don't know, that match. It was just different. It was really fast paced. It felt really high caliber to me. Being in my first GCW singles match back then, and I'm so grateful for that match.
Have you gotten any advice from any of the veterans that you've been in the ring with? I mean, you've shared the guys with people who've been on television, like a Mike Bailey, like a Jonathan Gresham, like a Chris Bay. Have they given you any advice about anything?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them, a lot of the vets I talked to, they just tell me to really soak in the moment when I'm in that ring. Firing it up, going crazy. Just going crazy on people. Take the time to soak it in. Take it all in. Look at the crowd. All the crowd, they're going crazy for you. You really got to take that in because it's something special. It's a special feeling.
I want to ask you about this tweet. It was from a month ago, but see
Oh
if you
man.
remember it. Uh, so it is a Civil War picture of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and you said Cartoon Network is winning this one, and I would like to know your rationale for going Cartoon Network over Nickelodeon.
I mean, you got Codename, Kids Next Door. You got who else do they have on that picture? You got even
Johnny
some of the newer
Bravo,
ones. Yeah, yeah, Johnny Bravo. You got Dexter from freaking
Dexter.
Dexter's Lab. He's got the crazy experiments and stuff. I think that'll do a lot of damage to Nickelodeon. And even the newer ones like Finn from Adventure Time and Jake, they're pretty awesome too. They're pretty badass. And I think what will take the cake, beat everybody is is Ed from Ed and Eddie. The one he like. I think there was an episode where he like took a bite of like a house or something. Like he was
The,
always doing like crazy stuff, and I don't think you could beat him. Not even
so
the
like
Avatar, not even the Airbender.
so like the Jawbreaker episode, wasn't it? He was just going around chomping on everything.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, look, I respect that rationale. I respect it. I'm always gonna ride with my guy SpongeBob. I don't know how you destroy SpongeBob. Like he just seems pretty indestructible, but I can appreciate the rationale with going with Cartoon Network there. Starboy, I appreciate you joining me, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me Starboy Pro Wrestling on Instagram, and Starboy Charlie, but the O is a 0 on Twitter. And I don't really use anything other than that, so find me on there. Look me up on. No, that's really all I use. Never mind. Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy. Really
Do you have a
appreciate it.
MySpace? You have a MySpace to plug?
MySpace. Yeah, it was a little before my time.
I appreciate you joining me, man. Again, everyone watching this can check out Starboy Charlie in action this Saturday against Joey Janela, and then potentially other opponents, GCW, JCW, J Cup. That'll be on Fight Plus. Everyone can check that out. Starboy, thank you again for your time today. Guys, we're back here. Oh,
going crazy.
Oh, hi. Hello.
And my cat was just meowing like crazy, so I guess I gotta let him out.
Well, go take care of the cat. Don't let me hold you up. Thank you again, Starboy Charlie. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here later on here on Fightful Overbooked.